Hi, my name is Gavin Ruane. I'm a student in CPE Section 7, and this is my Lab 6 demonstration video. So for this lab, we took a turn from the past few labs when we created an entirely new lab. This lab is going to be a sequence detector, and of course, we did it on the basis 3. So what this will do is it will look for a sequence entered on the last 8 switches on the board, and if one of the sequence matches, it's going to output cool on our 7-segment display. If not, it's going to output crap. We can also look for 2 sequences by using this middle button. When we hold it, it's going to look for a different sequence than if we were not holding the button. So there's some interesting functionality here. For this project, we had to create a state diagram, and I'll include a better version of this in the final video, but we used a state diagram to actually find out the logic and create this program, and we also created an FSM as well as using some Dr. Mealy's modules and some other resources. All right, well, that's pretty much it for this lab. It was simple enough to understand, and stay tuned for the test cases. All right, so let's get into our test cases. Before we actually do the tests themselves, let's just go over a few things really quickly. So one thing I want to point out is these last 8 switches on the basis board are where we're going to input our sequence. And you'll notice that this corresponds to the different bits of the sequence itself. And you'll also notice that when we put in our sequence, it's going to be kind of reversed, but that is the standard protocol for this. You'll notice that in Professor Perks's demonstration video as well, so it's going to look backwards, but that's okay. And you'll notice that the LED is going that way as well. It's going to check from right to left. Okay, then let's also go over, we're going to be searching for these 2 sequences in the sequences we're putting into the switches. So I filled in a bubble, and that means when the button is pressed, it's going to be looking for this sequence, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. When the button is not pressed, it's going to be looking for this sequence, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. And then finally, the button mapping. So we're going to be using a button again, as I just said, to tell us what sequence to look for. So we're just going to be using the center button. And as I noted, that's going to be changing the sequence we're looking for. And then the display is going to show crap if it doesn't find a sequence, and it's going to show cool if it finds a sequence, and it's going to reset back to crap when it's done. Okay, let's actually get into our test cases this time. So I'm going to set up this first sequence on the board, and this is when the button is going to be off. So 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So as you see, the next time it's going to go around, it's going to say cool because it found the sequence. And if we let it do it one more time, you'll see that it actually works twice, and it's going to keep going forever. Now so let's check that one off. Now I'm going to actually hold the button, and we're going to see if it still says cool, and it shouldn't, because that is not the sequence we're looking for when the button is held on. That's correct. Oh, and sometimes as you can see, the sequence actually looped, and it actually detected a different sequence, so that's okay. But at the end of the day, what I was trying to show was, here I can do an even better test case. What I'm trying to show is when the button is held on, you will not see, it's not going to find this sequence, the one that we're looking for initially. Okay, so let's go on to the next test case. So just to reiterate on that one, I had this one set here, and it found a different sequence in a different way, which is great because it can find that sequence, but we're just not looking for that. Just to make it clear for your purposes, I just turned that one off and redid it. Okay, anyways, let's go to the next one. Let's set this one up. Okay, so this is going to be 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. So as you can see, it's not going to do anything. There's no sequence here, and it's just going to stay crap because can it find this 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1 in the sequence? No, it cannot. So that is correct. We don't want to see anything. But now if I hold the button on, we're going to see it eventually will say cool. So it probably just has to go through one more time because I hit it too late. But yep, there we go. It's cool. This is a cool sequence because it found the one that it's looking for when the button is turned on. Okay. Now I added these 2 other test cases just to show you what the board will do if it's just something completely random. So we're going to go 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. And the button is off. As you can see, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to say crap the whole time because there is absolutely no sequence here. And as I noted earlier, it can actually loop through. It can find a sequence from like 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It could go that way instead. But again, there's no sequence here, so it's not going to find that. Okay, and let's just do one more test case. We're going to keep the sequence, but we're going to hold the button on. And again, it's not going to find this sequence in here. So it's going to still say crap. So there we go. That's the end of these test cases. I've passed all of them. And just to reiterate that it will say crap when there's no sequence found. It will say cool when there is one found. And that's the end of the test cases. Thanks for watching.